Hi, this is Brandon from Watches on You. Today we're taking a look at a true future classic. This is the Omega Seamaster Professional 300 meter diver. Now I'd like to remind you we're here at JB Hudson Jewelers in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where this watch is on sale pre-owned. Now, I'm going to start off with kind of the history of this watch and why I think it is definitely a future classic. So, this watch is probably most famous for appearing on Pierce Brosnan's wrist in the James Bond movie GoldenEye. And it has kind of deserved kind of cult status. It's very popular, especially among younger people and younger people of that time, so probably millennials. And I think that this watch is probably going to increase in value quite significantly in the sort of medium distant to distant future, so probably around 30 years from now. I think that this is going to be an excellent investment piece if you're wanting a watch to hold on to for that long. And this watch actually is a great candidate for if you want to hold on to a watch for quite some time, because it's fairly cheap to service given that it only has an ETA-based movement. And it is a chronometer grade ETA-based movement, so it's still very high quality. It just doesn't have the coaxial in-house movement that modern Seamasters do. And to be frank with you, I prefer this look much more over a modern Seamaster. I know I'm a little bit biased. I actually own the chronograph version of this watch, but I just think it's a lot more minimalist than modern Seamasters. Now, when this watch was introduced, it was definitely a competitor to the Rolex Submariner. It is by far and away not nearly as good as the modern day Submariner with regards to its quality. I mean, the bezel is not ceramic, for instance, and it's got this kind of cheap feeling aluminum insert. There was a chrome bezel version you can get for this, and you can actually replace the insert. I actually own the chrome version of this, and I probably prefer that just because it looks a little bit better on NATO straps and other other straps besides the steel clasp or steel strap that it comes with. But anyway, I think this model looks very good. I think that this one blends with the steel bracelet. I think it looks better if you have the blue insert. But anyway, what I was saying is this watch was definitely a competitor with the Submariner at the time it was built. I mean, it has a 300 meter water resistance, which is fantastic, definitely usable for diving. It has a helium escape valve, which was not seen on the Submariner and has never been seen on a Submariner, except for the Sea Dweller. It does have the helium escape valve, but that's significantly more expensive than this. Another feature that the Submariner didn't have at this time was a very high quality clasp. At the time, the Submariner had a pretty frankly low quality sort of pressed metal clasp, whereas this had a spring activated clasp with a very high quality feeling diver's extension. I think that this is probably still the highest quality diver's extension that's ever been featured on a watch. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Furthermore, this bracelet is one of the most comfortable watch bracelets I have ever seen. I wear mine very frequently. I actually have it on a strap right now, but that's not out of discomfort. That's just I wanted to mix up the style. But still, there is absolutely no hair pinching with this bracelet. I mean, it is so comfortable, and the brushed and polished surfaces make it quite unique to sort of more oyster bracelet style watches, which is seen not just in Rolexes, but many other dive watches. So now I'll try this on for a wrist shot, and this watch has a 41mm diameter, which makes it pretty well suited to anyone's size wrists. Again, I try to stay around about 40mm. I'm not too picky around that. As long as it's within probably 2mm of that, I think it looks pretty much great on anyone's wrist. I really like how it sits on the wrist, and I actually like the non-chronograph version. It's a little bit more comfortable because it's so much thinner than the chronograph version. The chronograph version, its movement actually has a module on top of a standard ETA-based movement, which makes it very thick. This is definitely thinner and a little bit more comfortable on the wrist. It doesn't quite have the wrist presence as the chronograph version, but I still very much like this watch. So if you're interested in purchasing this watch, please check out JB Hudson's website in the description. And also be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.